Finally, after so many years of every now and again dropping hints about good old Fire and Ice, I finally get to talk about it. Hooray! I mean, I got to play it on the NES Online stuff for the Switch, it works. No thanks to this nonsense. $450 for a game. I hate resellers so much. And Amazon doesn't even have anybody selling it. Even though what is why? What is this? Oh boy. So what is Fire and Ice? Well, it's a puzzle game made by Tecmo for the NES. It is something that I didn't really know for a long time, but it is a prequel to Solomon's Key. Yeah, have fun playing that one. Anyways, this takes place on the Coolmint Island, where the evil wizard Droodle has sent some fire monsters to attack a island of ice and winter fairies and all sorts of stuff. Anyways, it's a puzzle game. Kinda neat. Really get the noodle going. How I stumbled upon this game, because it came out late in the NES's life cycle, we'll say. I lived across the street from a library that had that as a game that you could check out and borrow it for like a week, I think, or something. I think it was a week. Yeah, that's how I came across it and learned to play it and everything. And boy, there are still plenty of times, because I'll randomly revisit it every now and again after 5 or 6 years, at least, maybe even longer. I think it's been probably close to 10 to 15 since last time I really played it. For the most part, it's pretty easy to go about it. You can only create or dissolve ice sections at a 45-degree angle downward, and you can't jump, you can't stop or like cast magic and do some sort of attack or anything. It's you can push ice blocks into fire creatures, and that's what you get. But yeah, every time I revisit this game, there are times where I'm like, I've somehow beat this game, and I don't know how I did it. How was I so much smarter back then and so much dumber now? Then you just kind of go, okay, and then eventually you figure it out. You're like, oh, I hope past me took as long to figure this out. It is a fun game that I wish Nintendo would kind of kick their butts in gear into getting more games on those, like the NES catalog or the SNES catalog and that sort of thing, because of things like just being really, really difficult to get access to them. And I think something like this is, I think it would be almost like a smart idea for them to try to release it elsewhere, on like the Google Play or whatever they call that, or some sort of app game selling thing. I don't know, I'm old, leave me alone. But it's because it's a puzzle game, you don't really, it's broken down to where you can, you have to beat a full world before you can go to the next, but you can kind of tackle them in different ways. So if one's giving you a bit of trouble, you can be like, okay, I'll come back to this, try something else, and then come back to it. It's not action intensive and that sort of thing. Like I said, it's a puzzle game. It's going to work your noodle more than you trying to, work your thumbs kind of thing. There is a boss at the end of each of the levels or worlds, what have you, and I mean, you're not directly fighting them outside of the last boss, but there's some trickiness sometimes. Sometimes there are moving fire monsters, or the level will move up, like there's a lava floor and it'll move up and it'll cycle through vertically and stuff. And it's a nice spin because then it puts you on your toes to have to think a little bit differently. Yeah, you got to be a little bit more active, but also you can't perhaps take care of one because you'll get stuck, or it'll block you from being able to ascend up the stage again because you've blocked off, because you've put ice in the way so that you can get over to another side kind of thing. It's fun. Plus you get some funny looking bosses. Like one of them looks like a baby Cyclops from Dragon Quest. I enjoy it. Also, after you beat the game, it gives you hints on, you can play through these 50 other extra levels just kind of for fun, not really story related or anything. And some of them are not a lot of effort. More like, look what we can do. But and some of them are kind of interesting. You're like, okay, I can see why this didn't quite make it into the final game, sort of thing. I really enjoy this game. If you do have a Switch and you do have the NES Online catalog, if you have that, if you're into that sort of thing, or if you like puzzle games, I really recommend this. Like I said, this is one of those things. I literally, just finished this up last week. I could probably revisit it in a couple months, and there'll be aspects of it that I've forgotten, just kind of it's some trickeration you're not really thinking about, and be like, oh, okay. If you don't keep to it, it always feels like when you revisit it after a while, it's almost fresh in a way, and I like that. Music, I will say this, it's not the greatest. It works. The boss theme is kind of nice, but the regular theme, if you have it playing for a while, it starts to get a little maddening. It's like, oh, okay, alright, which may not be the greatest for a puzzle game, but I think it's also a good point to be like, alright, I need to put this game down, let my batteries charge, let my brain recharge, and let me reapproach this with some fresh eyes, and a fresh recharged brain. Yeah, I'd say give it a go if you get the chance, and that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.